Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Lord Master is back with hopefully another exciting edition of Crusader Kings II. But as you can see, I'm the petty kingdom of Wessex, ruled by this man, which I created through ruler designer. So this is a completely new character and not something that's preset. This is Godwine Bacon, House Bacon. I mean, as you can see on the customized house, yes, that is a boar, and those dark red lines that are wavy is supposed to, I like to interpret it as, well, bacon. But the purpose for this brand new series is, I mean, I'm not going to do a long-term series like I did last time when I was Zoroastrian Croatia, where I expanded the empire from Germany to China, which is something that I don't think I can ever accomplish like that ever again. But we're not going to do a long series in this one. This is going to be a short-term series or possibly a mini-series, which will mainly concern this mod that I'm now using. Although all the other mods I'm still largely using the same ones as the previous series, but removed about 2 of them because, you know, culture relevancy. But here in this Anglo-Saxon part of the world, this series concerns this Societies mod, which is called the Orders of Chivalry, which is created by Maal, the same guy who created the Great Trade League, which he's created Fighters Guild Societies and Holy Order Societies. I mean, there's the Great Trade League, which you've seen it in the previous 2 series I've done. And this is a Fighters Guild. For example, it's called the Round Table. Which it says in this description, taking some inspirations from the Knights of the Round Table of yore, with less focus on the Holy Quest and more on personal prestige and honor. This Fighters Guild is the pride of the Western world. Young knights come from all corners to join them in their quest for glory. Their skills are greatly utilized, be it for military advices or bounty hunting. Yes, this is a brand new society that Maal created, where it's largely martial skill focused. You know what it takes. I mean, on the start of January 1st, 769, they've added about 61 members. Oh yeah, that's something I never noticed on any societies. I never really point my mouse down to know how many novices, veterans, like how many rank tiers characters are there. Never noticed that ever since I started recording Crusader Kings the first time. Now, I will join this society, which in order to join this one, well, you gotta be, you know, the obvious ones. An adult, not a prisoner, not incapable, must not hold a temporary title, and you have to be a ruler or a commander for characters. And not a mercenary, and you've got to have a martial education or an accomplished squire, and you got to have war focus on, which is something that I created this character for. Martial education, focused on war, because that's what the purpose of this character is going to be. Well met, Godwine. You'll have the highest honor to receive a letter from me, Theoticus, champion of the Round Table. Greatest warrior this world has ever known. I have no doubt that you wish to bask in my glory in person, so hereby allow you to join us as we clash steel and bleed together. Good luck, and may your blade never dull. For glory, as I join here. But as you can see, look, there you can rank up already, but they do it differently in this particular society, including the Holy Orders societies, which I'll do another separate mini-series covering that. This one is going to be about Fighters Guild. I mean, you can rank up in 2 ways. Either get your glory up to 1,000 along with 250 prestige, or just fight in a duel with any of the these veterans out there. But I don't want to do it right off the bat. You gotta prove yourself first in the sense of, well, get your skills up. I gained 9.2 glory per month because of high martial, brilliant strategist, rough, diligent, but trusting, however, is a little bit down, but that's just to decrease the character's age. That's why he started off wounded in the beginning, as it says here. Once the wounded goes away and it turns into scarred, then it actually builds up on the total gain. Although the round table is not, you know, just for that part of the world. It's for certain cultures. Like largely most of European cultures, and that includes West Slavic, South Slavic, Greek, and even Armenian, Georgian, just around those areas. While guys like them, let's see if I can find a character with a martial education, because it'll show you that he's a member of this society. If he is, there is, he's a member of the Sand Pit. That's the Fighters Guild of that area, which includes cultures for Arabic, West is over there, and East Africans as well, including Iranian cultures. That's what that's for. Now over there, find the one with martial education. Okay, is that him? No, he's not a member of it. Keep looking. They could be anywhere, unless you look up their commanders. There it is. This man here, for example, the Wheel of Life and Death is the name of their fighters guild over there. It's for certain regions that they uniquely have different names. Which, the Wheel of Life and Death Society covers, well, Indian cultures, Tibeto-Burmanian cultures, Chinese even, and I guess probably them too. While to some other people like the East Slav, Finno-Uralic, and North Germanic, they have a society, they have a fighters guild of their own somewhere. The Ring of Honor is what it's called, for reserved for those people of those regions. But there are settings for the Fighters Guild mod where it doesn't have to be just for European cultures or any other cultures for that. They have a setting that you can do at the start of a game if you use this mod, where you can have an all-male society, Fighters Guild, whatnot, for all males, and then there's a separate one for all females as well. But in this case, this is for both male and female in this current setting. Just one curious question for the developer Maal here for this Society's mod. It's like I'm a member of the Round Table, and this guy here, for example, even though he's not a member because of different education and whatnot, but he is of the visiting culture, which they're eligible to join a Round Table society. And his liege, who's a Arabic Bedouin, which they have their own distinctive Fighters Guild society, like the Sand Pits that I showed you earlier. Hypothetically, like if this man here was a member of Round Table and then he decides to convert to his liege's culture, to from Armenian to Bedouin, like would he lose his membership? Like he would leave this society immediately just for the cultural change, or what? That's just one thing that kind of, you know, made me feel curious about that. But then again, I'm not Armenian, as I'm doing a playthrough in Wessex. It's not really my concern, but it's just curiosity for those people over there who are subjugated under complete different culture with their own set of society, so to speak. And before we get this series rolling, there's another thing about being a member of any Fighters Guild society. Newer decisions, such as to buy yourself a weapon, which you have to contact members of the Round Table in order to buy one of their spare weapons, which there isn't any, as this is just the beginning. And you can also take a rest to recover, which is to avoid any further combat and mission related to the society. You will lose 5 glory per month for resting to recover, but no rest for champions. And to lose 50 glory per month, it will be downgraded to pretender at 0 glory. So that's a huge penalty, but it only happens if you're wounded, which I am, but that's the ruler designer. I didn't get wounded by a duel, so you can't do that right now. And then you can take a break from combat. It's, you know, something similar, but that's just, let's say if you're a higher rank, you're kind of like, oh no, I don't want to fight at the moment. I have other important things to do. Which I could do that if I have 100 glory, but no reason for that. But you can make yourself available to receive training from a fellow member. Request military training to, well, just to get potential traits, or even your martial skill up. And here's another thing that they've added from this past Friday on the most recent update of this mod. Although when I started using it about a couple of weeks ago, this didn't exist. So this is attempt to find a target in a realm to hunt for money. The bounty board. Let's just have a look at the moment. Even though there isn't anything interesting, but someone's gonna want something. Someone did. No interesting target so far. This happens for anyone who is not a member of any Fighter Skill societies. Which, if there's a guy out there, which you're going to set the bounty, if the opinion towards you or towards that person is about -30, then you can put money on bounty on them. Now I just got married to this person as a way to start off this series. And there'll be many more to talk about the features of the round table other than, oh yeah, I forgot, name a squire. But as you can see here, I don't have to go to the minor towns. It allows you to name a boy or girl if allowed between 6 and 16 years record as a squire or lady in waiting. The longer they spend with the title, the more special trade will improve, up to 4 times. You can do that to your children, which I don't have children at the moment, but in the future, once that boy or girl turns 6, then you'll see that I'll make him or her a squire or lady in waiting in respect, and they'll improve their martial skill in particular up and make them, well, eligible to join a round table, even if their education is not martial related. Or have their war focused on if they're a ruler also. Let me share the best trick to improve yourself as a fighter. Field experience. Gather some of your men and lead them onto the battlefield to certain death. Fight well. Signed by Stephanos. Tells me to lead my men into battle. Win a battle that I initiated while leading one of the flanks. And members of the Holy Order, if you're a member of that, must attack an infidel army. So I'll accept, just let me, build my money up, including the army levies up, and I will do my first war, which will likely be a tributary war, against a weak neighboring country, like Cornwall, for example. I'll get back to that in a moment. And if you rank up to veteran, and you may notice that novice you don't get much, but once you're a veteran, it'll get your monthly prestige up, a bit of martial, and a little bit of sex appeal as well, at +5. Which you can hire a warrior commander, which you can have that as a person that you may want to name a commander in a minor tile. I remember that I did a playthrough on Asturias, northern Spain, during the Reconquista era, which I didn't record at that time, but back then maybe I should have, because that character I was playing as, I went to become immortal. And I was like the champion for 15 years until some guy got an upset over me before I fought him again and reclaimed that title. And the other is go on a warrior pilgrimage. You just spend the glory to go on a warrior pilgrimage to improve your martial and leadership skill. And as a ruler designer, I added aggressive leader. And if I go on a warrior pilgrimage, there's a very good chance, if you got one or more, that any of these, but since there's only one here, it would improve the pursuit and damage of it, for example, for aggressive leader here. Now if you move up to Tender, up the Prestige, Martial, and Sex Appeal again, which you can found a mercenary band, and they will adopt a mercenary band government. Just picture Wessex, a petty kingdom, into a country ran by mercenaries. Not like these mercenaries here, like the White Cover, for example. Which, by the way, due to this mod, they changed it from feudal to mercenary band. This is what it shows you what it does, which is completely different. And since there are no holy orders, that I can show you that there is a separate holy order government, which originally was going to be featured in the upcoming Holy Fury DLC, which is partly the reason why I don't plan on doing a long-term series anytime soon. I'm waiting for that DLC to come out. But now we get a bit of a taste from it with this order, the chivalric order, the chivalric Society's orders mod. I forgot the name of the mod. I'll get it corrected in just a moment. Anyways, there's that, and this is what happens if you were to turn that country from feudal to mercenary band. It'll be like that. And sometimes you could get an offer that somebody like, hey, we need you for your service, and he'll pay you. And he'll pay you more depending on your performance in the war. Like, say, if West Francia wants you to join their war, as you being a mercenary joining the country, then, well, more glory to you. And you're likely to get more money depending on performance. And if you didn't accomplish much, or better yet, never did anything, then you'll lose prestige and glory. Especially glory. That's a valuable commodity in itself. And you could set up tournaments, but you have to right-click the province holdings to set up and upgrade various tournaments. All this usual stuff. And finally, you can only become a champion if you fight the champion himself in a duel. Which you can set up a championship, which is to upgrade a rank tournament to rank 3 championship, and there can only be one championship per holder. Alright. Alright, we'll speed this up in a moment. I've invited people in my court to take part in a war game, which we practice defending our land from invading enemies. We will use wood and Maals to represent invading armies. I shall have to use clever tactics to defeat my opponent. Here's a chance to help your marshal a bit. It'll be fun. It'll be fun, they say. As we assign tasks for the war game, we decide that Edward will defend with me, while Sinwolf will be leading the invading forces. Let the best warlords win. I usually screw up on the strategy part, but I'll do something a bit different. At the beginning of the war game, the enemy quickly tries to advance up the hills in the area to get a strategical advantage. Back then I used to do this a lot, but instead rushed forward with a light skirmish force before their force reached the hill. May sound like a stupid idea in some. Sinwolf's troops continued to slowly advance up the hill, pressing on despite the assault of our skirmishers. Edward suggests that we should climb the hills fast. I'm going to try this. Circle around the slowed down enemy and attack from behind. Hopefully this works. If not, well then you done screwed yourself. Our decision to attack an opponent who holds a defense high ground proves disastrous. As our troops suffer massive losses, we are forced to admit defeat. Smash the table and send the army pieces flying. And I lose prestige again. Eventually, in this Fighters Guild, I'll be a better fighter than strategist. Yeah, I sent the smashed pieces flying because I'm Raffle. Gotta have that trait if you want to rank up. Hold on. There we go. Excuse me. Also, there's a new champion. Oh, then there's a new champion. They tend to change hands pretty quickly on that title because they have these duels. Especially that a champion must not rest. You've got to defend your title day in and day out. Although it may be an exaggeration. It's every 6 months, I think, before you are challenged again. But on a recent update, this Maal, the name of the creator of this mod, has decided to slow down the rate of AI challenging whoever, particularly champion, especially if you're up top there. Small spear throwing competition could be entertaining, and it's also a great way to enliven my battle techniques. Maybe I should wage a contest in my court. My throwing arm will amaze everyone. Hopefully, get more rushes together. After a dozen spears have been hurled through the air, sole victor emerges. No one has managed to throw farther than Alman Alfassan. Anglo-Saxon names sometimes are a little unpronounceable, whereas I'm used to Slavic names. Hey, I become brave. Throwing spears make you brave, huh? But look at that. +3 if you're brave. Oh yeah, you'll be getting more glory points in no time. I'll request military training in a moment as a way of... I'll request military training as a way of passing the time. Spend this 100 glory on early. It's just to show you people an example. Ah, Tributary. Look, I requested military training and some AI is going to get emission notifications like, hey, train this person. I mean, I need training. I may be wounded, but I'm brave. Now, here we go. I've been waiting for someone to teach me about warfare for some time, and somebody's answered my call. Alderdun has stepped forward to teach me some of his fighting skills and tricks. Frankish man. Good, cannot wait. There's going to be a lot of notifications of these events popping up during the military training. Just because I'm a brilliant strategist does not mean Again, it says that both talk at long length about strategy, whether or not his advice are worth listening is up to you. Look, ignoring his advices, just move on. I don't want this trait, even though I will. Or you could just stop right there prematurely. But there's a 10% chance of getting a trait, which I did not get. That's what it's largely for. Plus, I did not pay attention. What was his education for this trainer of mine? Oh, tough soldier, okay. Well, I'm already brave, so I'll ignore his advice. And hopefully eventually wounded goes away, and then I'll start a war with Cornwall just to get a tributary war and possibly do another there and another there before I do a border dispute for those two counties. I think that I should spend some time in meditation to sharpen my senses. Become content. Nope. Didn't get it. It's another harvest festival. And I could become shy Which I don't think that's a good trait for Fighters Guild, honestly. Oh there. Huh. My training is over. That was it? I've endured a lot more or less relevant training techniques from my instructor, but in the end it was worth it. I'm better prepared for the battles ahead, but I can always improve more myself. There's a 100% chance that I'll become a novice fighter. See, novice fighter, there it is. This character understands the basics of combat, but is sloppy, overconfident, and inexperienced. That just ups your personal combat skill. Which combat skill would be useful if you ended up with a duel with someone out there in a field of battle, which we'll get to war eventually. But the dueling system in this society, like if you want to rank up, or somebody wants to rank up and wants to bring you down, they do a dueling system different than what you've seen on a regular basis on the previous series of any of the duels I may have gotten into, because I didn't do too much. Because I'm not a dangerous duelist, which I would probably become at the end. Again, just saving up the glory for a time, and whenever I'm fully healed from wound, then I'll be ready for action and complete this mission, just to get more glory. Might as well. Oh, everyone's got to be aggressive. I mean, we're going to be fighting nothing but offensive wars. You've got to be aggressive. What's on the bounty board if there is any? Nothing. Sometimes, like if you have no active missions, and then they'll give you a mission, sometimes they'll tell you to hunt down this target for a bounty. And sometimes it can lead to a duel, to the death. Non-aggression pact with Sorbia. Alright. Skipped a bit of time, which I'll do that every once in a while in this mini-series, because of course it'll get a bit boring, especially when I do stuff that isn't relevant to Fighters Guild Society, which is more concerning. You know how I was supposed to get Gregarious earlier? Well, now I can get this. I know it doesn't add up to glory, but I believe Shy actually brings it down the last time I remember. Unless I was thinking of a different society. Can't remember which. I had to pay for some medications again. I did spend a bit of money just to build castle walls and castle towns just to get a bit of income. Just wait till I'm no longer wounded, and then I'll go to this little war against Cornwall. It'll be a tributary war, and then eventually I'll fight the first duel to rank up to veteran. It's an absolute rule. You can change what you want. Being a feudal lord means working hard at keeping personal relations with my vassals at an acceptable level. Sometimes, though, they seem to have grudges against me, and I must work at eliminating those and instill proper loyalty. Talk about feudal obligations to them. Get a bit of prestige. You need prestige. It's not only for just opinion, but as a way of, possible ranking. Like, you can either fight your way up the ranks or just spend your hard-earned glory and prestige and just use your influence to rank up. That's none of my business, really. It's just, again, more concerned about the, once again, this society, and this mini-series is largely going to be all about it. Assumingly that I live long enough. I live long enough for my son, which I forgot to introduce him to you, Zadman. Once he turns 6, I can make him my squire, and maybe he'll be the future member of the Round Table. While searching for the lost chalice, I came upon a band of rogues who robbed me. There were too many, and stole 5 of my gold. Oh boy, worrying reports have reached me regarding my Marshal Bishop Joford. It seems he's been using my soldiers to extort money from the peasantry in Wessex. He forfeited his office, which means get a new marshal and that against absolute rule. Loyalists and whatnot, they're pretty much not to be of real concern. Quick, arrest him. Okay, we got him. Also, is that possible that I can revoke his title too? Nope. But do get a little bit of coin off of him. That's just a way of punishing, cause not saying I'm a little greedy bastard, but you need the money for a good reason. Matter of fact, starting next year, we're gonna fight a Tributary war. It seems it's taken a long time to recover from my wound. That's why I don't want to rank up just yet. You don't want to come into combat wounded. Not saying battlefield combat, but I mean dueling. Okay, now it's time. As you can see, the army levels, it's very small compared to mine. We're just gonna extort tribute. It's just to add more income, but also if we win, that's more prestige. Oh yeah, leftover from the old mods that I've used, the usual set your war strategy and battlefield position, which I'm brave and I'll be in the vanguard. If anybody saw my previous series, Similatovic, used that mod for a long, long time. And I'm leading in the center. Hope I don't get killed. Oh, I heard you were going to lead an army in person. I didn't think you had the guts. I am a bit scared to see that you survived getting stronger. May we not meet in a duel. Live on. The second Georgian Conquest. The strong never rest. Look what it gets you in a reward. 200 glory and a bit of prestige. Yes, it has its own sound effects in this Society's mod here. God is there. That ups the war score a lot more. Let's just besiege the place. I ain't going anywhere. As a matter of fact, they're already calling it. It's over right now. Again, we're not taking territory. We're just making them pay some of the money to us just to up our income. May do another one. Like against these guys. Alright, we won that war. And a part of the reason why am I fighting tributary wars? Look at Mercia up there. That's Mercia. That's because he has 5 different tributaries that he holds. And therefore, they are the allies. So that's the reason why I did with Cornwall. I'm probably going to do with the other Welsh counties out there and make it look like, well, if you're making friends, well, making alliances, well then I'm going to be making alliances too, through force. And then after I get done with Wilson, maybe just expand upon these 2 counties there. Through border dispute wars. And don't want to do no fabricate claim, just do it the hard way. But again, this is just a part for a short term of this series. Like if, again, I don't look forward to become the first king of England. That's a long shot. Just try to rank up to Pretender and turn Wessex into a mercenary band country. Mercenary band country. So you know what it's like. I'm currently in search for an instructor to help me train in combat and other matters of warfare. Could you spare some time to help another fighter? I would appreciate being able to learn of your skills. Icterus of Foy. Okay. You just have a similar education than me, and currently, then again, your liege is at war. Yes. Your liege, King Carl West France, is at war down over at Hispania. Sure, I'll train you. If you're willing to take my advice. Because that last instructor of mine, it's like, okay, I'll follow yours twice, I ignore one another, and he's like, okay, good. You don't need more training, that's fine. Now I just gotta do the other way around. Oh, it's already done. I remember seeing another artifact. Look, this may not be historically accurate that it was founded in this year, but that's actually 3 centuries later that University of Oxford was founded. The reason for that is because one of the other mods that I used, the University mod, I've noticed that despite the fact I had it set on historical founding, that they started appearing in the earlier ages. Which one would think, yeah, this little university system is slightly broken just for the founding universities part, but everything else is fine. Not saying every other mod, just everything featured in the university mod in particular. What the hell are you doing? It's another thing Oh man, I was about to, like I said, you're supposed to right click to begin the training. But looks like that won't happen. He was slain by the Count of St. Gallen in personal combat. Oh gee. I was too late to, have I known earlier about that little feature. Man, have I known sooner, I could have told him all the works and maybe he would have lived. I don't know why he was slain in personal combat. I knew he did not have a bounty on his head. Unless he had a rival that killed him. So yeah, that's a shame. We'll get another mission and I'll get to another war very, very soon. You're next. And based on that number of troops, I don't think you'll need to call Cornwall for this one. Strategies remain the same. Sure thing. Actually, it should be this way. The county of Wiltshire. That place, god dang it, that place, this county, is where the Stonehenge is. I was about to say headstone, but the Stonehenge, that's where it is, located in. Let him come. Although maybe wounded, but I ain't scared of trying to drive them out of here. And like if they don't get out of my homeland, then I'm gonna, have to destroy them all. It's gonna be back and forth as always. Heir to the bishopric. Oh, here it is. Oh, more morale damage for inspiring leader. And if I ever go on a warrior pilgrimage in the future, then I will, Also, pay attention to if there's any diseases in the county. I'm about to put, like Constantinople, for example. I've had many instances on a previous playthrough. A lot of guys, or girls, get killed by diseases whenever I send my spy master to that area. So pay attention next time. And pay attention to where you're clicking. They're all gone. Now let's begin the siege. And after this war's over, then we're going to go after its next door neighbor. Which apparently it's already at war. For Glamorgan. You know, as soon as I make that my tributary, I'm sure he's more than likely gonna call me into this little war there, then I'll deal with that too. That wound of mine, ever since I created this character, just never goes away, does it? Got a box of gems. That's a great trade league item. And a first artifact that I have, even though it's temporary. Although the trade league people will come in and they're going to want these. Yeah, I got money. Why not translate the book, which is the origin of the Longobards people? That's part of the university's mod. It's ours. There it is. Trade people are here. Just a member of it to give them the gems. Actually, hey, since you got this little board dispute going on, how about I should join the war and just save your ass, and then we'll duke them out, take it to them, go back home, raise up armies again, make them tributary too. Again, it's about making tribute. Put me in the vanguard again. Okay, rulers changed, but still a suzerain. I think it'll have to be until the next episode. That's when I'll start ranking up. Because it seems that wound will just not go away, or maybe it could turn infected and it'll just prolong it. And lead my premature death before I even name my son Squire. When he's turned 6. Okay, no one else is after him this time. So it should be fine. There. That'll do. I have enough glory to rank up, including the prestige, where I could just bypass it without a fight, even though it's frowned upon. Oh, hold on. I got a text. Give that a moment. Okay, your little war's over. We'll be on our way. There you go. Disband the troops and declare another tributary war. sometimes I'm sure they'll be called to say, good reason. Let us resolve this conflict peacefully. In exchange for putting stop to this war and prevent bloodshed, I shall agree to your demands, and the lands of Dyfed will pay tribute to you. All I ask is that you promise safety for my people and send your soldiers home. A wise decision. There. That was easy. Because those levy levels were so low, sometimes they will acknowledge that you are a powerful one, even if it's not close to even 2,000. Anybody else that I can make tribute? Not this person. But I can with this one. And there's good reason why. Bordered with the sea of St. George's Channel. And my patron saint is St. George, as I had it said from the patron deities one. Oh, whoa. Enemies are using the Great Trade League to disrupt our supply lines. That means that it'll hurt the land organization reinforcement rate, global supply limit, and global winter supply for about a year. Yikes. I didn't see his levies. Okay, after we defeat him, we're gonna wrap up this episode, and next episode I will start ranking up into the ranks of the round table. Whoa, they're right there. Well, I'm already in the battle, Alexios. Legionman in the battle, well then I'm already there. The strong will never rest. Oh, it's quite of a timing for that mission to be active. Forgot to add a commander to flank, but I don't think that really matters. Or somehow is it be able to lose a limb over a tiny skirmish. Right, just go siege the place. They're no longer of a significance. But I don't think I would go as far as Ireland to make a tribute out of them. It's more of, why the hell would you want to make tributaries out of this place? Because, it's like, yeah, it's connected to the sea where we're bordered with. But I just wanted to gain prestige early on. I have cramps. Spend more time in prayer. Maybe it's the Charlie horse. I mean, I had a Charlie horse the other night. That was unpleasant. If you don't know what a Charlie horse is, it's the cramp that you get on the back of your, like, calf area. What the? Food poisoning. Oh, it must be stomach cramps. Okay. As long as you know what you're doing. I mean, food poisoning ain't that bad, but since I'm a bit wounded, I'm a bit handicapped. But as long as you know what you're doing, otherwise you'll kill me. It insisted that my humors were out of balance and that the best way to restore would be through bloodletting. After consulting astronomical charts, he decided I should be bled from my armpits and temples. Now he's using the Trade League to maim our economy. Embargo. So you applied a trade embargo on us. Don't you worry. We'll wrap up this episode. Hopefully with a victory over Grenade and food poisoning and my wound that I got ever since I created this character. That's just to get the age down. That's why you gotta start off very, very young if you want to experience it all and what the Fighters Guild has to offer. Alright, war's over. At least he did not use the other feature from the Trade League in wartime where they could spread false propaganda. So that'll do it for this first episode of this mini-series. I would call it a mini-series because it's not going to be very, very long-term. This is just to showcase this society, the round table, and we'll show more of that on the next episode, especially when I start ranking up by dueling. Don't want to spend your hard-earned glory or prestige on it. So we'll see you on the next episode. Until then, so long for now.